Welcome to Soccer As We Like It, the Man United direction. Today we are talking about Man United's great victory over bitter, noisy neighbours Manchester City, beating the current league champions at Old Trafford. It was a pivotal moment in the Love United fans. It just shows improvement on Ten Hag's path. Joining us today, we just have the UK crew. I have Vim, the analyst. Vim, welcome to the show, mate.
Hey guys, how you all doing?
All right. And we have Kay, the smiley one, joining us today.
How you doing?
Happy
good.
Sunday. Good.
Yeah.
Right, guys, Man United 2, Man City 1. How did you feel? Vim, start me off. When the game started, I mean, you saw the lineup. I mean, what was your take?
Well, it was a roller coaster of a game, and I think your emotions do get tied up into it. We started off really well. I think we were holding City back. We broke through their lines of defense, and we had a couple of shots on goal. I think Rashford had got past the keeper, but had a bit of a weak shot on goal. I felt we should have scored there, and I think Bruno had a chance as well. I think Rashford had two chances. Bruno had one chance.
Martial and Rashford.
Martial as well. Yeah. So I think those are the chances you've got to take. And yeah, I feel like we missed a trick. And then you always feel like the game is of two halves, and I think we dominated. Maybe not dominate, but we held out pretty well in the first half. And I thought, we need to get something. And then as the second half started, it was all City. It was quite painful to watch, and I just felt the goal was going to happen, and it happened. And then your heart sinks. So it was quite an emotional game. And then we score, and then you feel great again. I'm sure you guys felt the same way. It was a roller coaster of a game, and it was a big momentous occasion. And boy, when we got those two goals, I could not believe it. Just couldn't believe it.
Right.
It was brilliant.
Kai.
Yeah. Like Vim said, it was. Do you know what? It was a derby. It felt nice. I remember the last derby. It just felt like, oh, what's gonna happen? I was just thinking, oh, we're gonna get beat. Whereas this derby was like, City are not great on the road. They don't score a lot. And we turned a corner. We got resilience. I just thought, if we get a draw, that'd be good. But it was good. They were up for it. They forced City into a lot of mistakes, and it was good. The first half was all right, but second half it was like, oh, this is gonna be a long day. But I thought we created more. Once they made the changes, that's when I was a bit like, because I remember, was it the Chelsea game? He brought Mahrez and Grealish on, and it just changed the game. And once Grealish came on, I was like, he's just going to dribble, soak up fouls, and we're going to lose possession a lot. And they did what they needed to do and got the goal. And then for once, I was like, we've still got a chance. Like, even though they're playing as I thought, we've got a chance. They're there for the taking. And then obviously we got the goal. Then we had the controversial ending. But yeah, I think we a lot of people were saying just going on about the goal. We actually, when you look at the stats in the actual game, we had a lot more shots and were a lot more potent than they were. So yeah, it was good performance.
Right, the game overall, it had so much going on because you saw United trying to make sure that, because the first game we were 4-0 down in the first half, so there was improvement. We're not 4-0 down in this half in the second game, so you could see there was improvement. The players looked a bit more determined. They looked like they were ready for this battle. The heads didn't sink. So those the three things we learned is that mentality. So Vin, what do you think has changed with the mentality from the heavy defeats we took from them compared to this today's current United under Ten Hag?
The thing is, I mean, that first game was in October. Ten Hag had joined us during the summer, so he was still trying to get his philosophy embedded into the team, his style of play, his level of discipline. So there was still a lot of damage to undo from the previous management. I remember pre-match, I was watching Rashford's interview, and he said that since the new managers joined, the club now has ambition. And he has basically said that the ambition wasn't there with the previous manager.
Wow.
So it was,
Wow.
and it was evident to us that the club had lost its way, and I think that's why he lost his way, and several other players lost their way, and that's now back. That belief is back. That discipline is back. That that fighting spirit is back. That never say never die spirit is back. Don't give up until the final whistle's gone. That is all coming back. Ten Hag has transformed this club and these players. He's also done his homework on City. Ollie being fairly one-dimensional, one style of play, probably didn't put in the tactical work. Ten Hag goes away and he does a lot of work, and then he disseminates the information through his coaches and then back onto the training pitch, and they practice patterns of play, which has been mentioned several times. One thing I noticed, okay, yes, we did have a similar style to what Ollie did, which is the counter attack, but there are trigger points as to when you go into that counter attack, and the trigger points being is that the fullbacks are way up the pitch, or most of their players are way up the pitch. Because when they're all way up the pitch, you've got. What's that? When all the players are up the pitch, you then set the traps, win the ball back, and you attack with not just one striker, which used to be in the past, Rashford. You attack with 3 or 4, and you overwhelm them, and that's how we got him behind. So yeah, big differences from this and the last game. But Ten Hag needed time to instill that into the team, into the squad.
Right. Okay. In terms of the mentality, what has changed now from what it used to be to what it is now in terms of how the heads are not dropping as they used to drop under previous managers, and when they go down, especially in big games?
It comes from the manager. He drives the standards. Whenever we win, it's never, yep, it's brilliant. It's like, but we can do better. He's always looking for more. The players he's brought in, the winners, Martinez, Casemiro, Ericsson, they've all been there and won things, and they're not happy on just being. They're not complacent. They always want more. Even with the Casemiro celebration, it's like he was a born and bred man. The way he celebrated with the ball.
I saw that.
Celebrating like that, it shows that he cares. And I think under Ollie, the players were happy because Mourinho wasn't there, and it was a bit too much tough love. And Ollie was too far, trying to be too pally. And Ollie was saying things like trophies can be an ego thing. It's not like a trophy will say we're back. That's the wrong mentality to have. As the manager of Man United, you always should be fighting for all trophies. So I think Ten Hag's raised the standards, and he's always pushing players. If players don't perform, they're dropped. There's players that are there ready to take your space, whereas under Ollie, the team picked itself. The players were getting overplayed. Didn't matter whether you had a bad game, you were still getting played. And competition for places. And we seem like a team. The team spirit's there, whereas under Ollie and other managers, there was cliques. It seemed like players weren't really fighting for each other, whereas this team looks like we're a unit. When we score goals, they all celebrate, huddle together. They're all together. So it's good to see, and the players look happy for a change. They look happy, so it's good.
All right, as we saw yesterday, I thought Cities at times couldn't go right through the middle of us with Casemiro and Fred, because they didn't use that combination in the first game. City were able to go right through us. It's like City was struggling to figure out. They kept going down the sides. It's like they couldn't figure a way down through the middle because of Casemiro. What did you think of that change, Vim, that United implemented in terms of that the tactics he used yesterday, the way he had the team set up compared to previous?
What with Casemiro?
Yeah,
with Casemiro in the middle, and what was the other bit?
With Fred, he had Casemiro and Fred.
Fred was mad marking Kevin De Bruyne apparently, and I noticed a couple of times in the beginning that he had let not purposely, but he had let Kevin De Bruyne get past him, and at that point the attack for City started. Yes. So he's a key player to start that attack, and obviously he was wrong-footed. Fred was wrong-footed, and Kevin De Bruyne got past, and then our goal was then in danger. But from what I'm hearing is that he did a fairly good job in man marking him, and that was his job. I remember there was a game in the past where we beat a big team. It might have been PSG, and we had Herrera man marking somebody for the entire game.
Hazard.
Hazard, yeah. And we won that game because Herrera did an amazing job. So you find that key danger man and you just nullify him. And I'm also hearing that Luke Shaw was on Haaland.
Yeah.
If he basically penetrated when he was in that 12-yard box, he was supposed to mark him. And when Luke Shaw was marking Haaland, because he's a bit of a chunky bloke, he's a lot of pudding. Yeah. So when he's marking Haaland, I saw Casemiro drop into centre back with Varane, and they made a pairing. And I'm thinking, I saw this repeat so many times that these guys are being coached to do that. So Luke Shaw goes to Haaland, gets in his way, maybe gives him a dig, gets in his way, stop him playing his game. Casemiro becomes a centre back. And so many times I saw that, I thought, wow, these guys have been well drilled. It was impressive.
Okay, what was your take on the formation United put out yesterday compared to the past, whereby Man City would just, yes, they did have possession, but they were able to. I felt City were hampered to certain points, whereby the game didn't flow as normally as it used to, especially in the first half.
Definitely, that was due to the clientele. The last game we played, the 6-3, we had McTominay and Eriksen together, which just shows you it was naive of Ten Hag. He obviously was new to the league then, but having Casemiro and Fred, they understand the game a lot more. They're better on the ball. They play forward. They've got energy. Whereas McTominay's not good enough on the ball. He tries to run with the ball, loses it. Eriksen's not got the legs, and you don't want him to play deep. You want him further up the pitch. So having Casemiro and Fred there, City are not used to playing against two good centre midfielders, and they were disciplined in their shape. They were forcing them into positions they didn't want to go. And I've never really seen City pass and lose the ball a lot. Whereas yesterday, they were losing the ball a lot. And I was like, that's people were saying it as in like City had an off day, but that was because of the shape of Man United. They were setting traps and forcing them into mistakes. So it was good to see. And yeah, it was like Fred. This is why I always say to people, like people say Fred's not a good player, he should have been at United, but he's crucial in the big games. He's like, like a Park or a Fletcher. He's that mold where he presses, he tackles, and he's. I don't know if you saw at the end of the game. There was one time where he was running to press at the end, and you could see he was knackered, and it's like he leaves it all on the pitch. And I think he's come out and said quotes before where he says, "I'm not like the technically blessed, but I'll give everything for the shirt." And you need players like that, selfless. Yeah, it was good to see.
Right. So with United, they've improved on the mentality. The tactics used yesterday it worked out. It got a result. So now, are United in a better place? Can we say United are in a title race or they're in a top 3 race? Okay.
I think you've got to say we're in a title race. I remember watching a show. I think it was a football game. I can't remember. It was Carragher was saying, "Oh, United don't want that many points away." So it's like we've crept up slowly. No one's talking about us. And everyone's sitting up there and noticing Man United. Like, we're winning, we're scoring, we're not conceding many. And I think the Ronaldo thing was a massive distraction. So everyone was focusing on Ronaldo, whereas now it's like Rashford's on form, firing, and we look like a team. And we've got more resilience. We're not as fragile. Last season, you can see the goal. We're hoping we get a draw. This season, we can see the goal. The players don't look panicky. You feel like we're going to get back in the game. It's like Man United ball, so it's good to see. And I think the team spirit's there, and the never say die attitude is back. And I think the fans are feeding into that in the stadium. They're feeling it. And you can see that on the pitch. So yeah, it's good.
Right, Vim. Now, are United in a title race? Are we in a top 3 race?
I can reiterate.
We've crept up slowly.
I can reiterate what I said last time. My thoughts about the title race. Yes, we're in it because if we beat City, which we have, and we beat Arsenal next week, which I think is very possible, and the reason why I think we can beat them is because we've got more experience in our team.
Right.
we've got we've got wise heads. We've got a superb CDM in Casemiro. We've got an amazing centre back in Varane. We've got a World Cup winner in Martinez, if he's going to be playing. We've got Luke Shaw Roberto, who's improving. We've got Rashford in form. Roberto, yeah. We got, I can't pronounce his name. Wout Weghorst? Yeah, the German. I'm joking, the Dutchman. But we've got him, and apparently he's a real poacher. He gets 1 in 2 goals. Every 2 games he scores a goal, which is good. And we need a big target man up front, where the others can feed to. Rashford comes in on the left. He's deadly. Martial, it seems to be a bit laboured at the moment. So this is a perfect time for him to step in. I think it was going to be a cracking game. Arsenal have a very young team. They've got a very young, very fast, very dynamic young team, and they play a certain way pretty much all the time. I think Ten Hag's going to be doing his homework. He's going to create a 10,000-page dossier, how to beat Arsenal. He's going to roll out to the coaches, guys, this is what we need to practice. This is how we're going to beat them. And I think if the players do what they're tasked to do, I think it's very winnable. We need to get Weghorst on that training pitch, get him to learn the patterns of play, get him to learn the style of play. But being a fellow Dutchman, I think he's gonna back 100%. He's gonna do whatever ETH asks of him. He's not gonna give any nonsense. The Fred and Casemiro thing. So Casemiro is a wise head. He's a wily team player. He knows how to break up play. He knows how to stop attacks and make the transition. With Fred, that sometimes I think he gets a little bit flustered. He might make rash challenges, wild passes, gives the ball away a lot. So I think with Fred, if you give him a specific task in that game, like in the Man City game, man mark Kevin De Bruyne and just harass him. If we can do that to perhaps Odegaard, because Odegaard is the key playmaker for Arsenal. Right. Maybe if Fred is on Odegaard and he's given that same job, keep it simple. Don't worry about breaking up all patterns of play or breaking up all attacks. Just focus on this guy and just nullify him. Keep him out, because everything travels through Odegaard. He's key. So I think with Fred, keep it simple. Give him a task. Let Casemiro do what he does, because he does it brilliantly. Right. I think it's winnable. So if we beat Arsenal next week, we're going to be how many points behind them? 3.
They won today, so
yeah,
9 points behind them.
Right, so we've got a game in hand.
We play Crystal Palace on Wednesday.
Yeah, so we win Crystal Palace. Hopefully, we beat them, and then we get this Arsenal. We're 3 points behind.
Wow,
we're very much in it.
Is this doable?
Very, very, very doable. So belief.
No, we're on the same points as them. Remember, they haven't played Man City.
Who? Arsenal.
Yeah, we're on 18 games each.
Gosh, I hope they get a draw between those two.
I know, right? I mean, I just hope they don't do a Spurs, because
I was hoping for a draw today, to be honest.
I know, right? Me too. Even my Spurs fan, I don't know if you guys have been on the show with Ian, my Tottenham friend. He was so upset. Like, it's a home game. It's the enemy, and they lost at home. They got booed off. I don't know how long this guy's going to be there, because he's frustrated already.
Right.
Conte.
So my mistake. We are level on games with Arsenal and City. Arsenal are on 47, City on 39. We're on 38. Newcastle have just gone ahead of us in the table on goal difference. So yeah, Arsenal have got quite a lead. So we definitely need to take 3 points off them, and hopefully City or someone else will do that as well. We've got to stop them. But they're a very shallow squad. As soon as Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli get injured, I think they're going to, it will slightly derail them, because they haven't got much depth.
Right. So we are how many? So as it stands now, how many points are we behind Arsenal?
9.
9. Same equal games.
Equal games, yeah. They've got a massive goal difference. They've got 28 goal difference. City's got 28 goal difference. Newcastle got 22. We've only got 8.
What?
We're not banging it.
Remember, we were on 0 goal difference for a long time.
Yeah, we're not banging in these goals. But hopefully, Woot will do that.
All right. Kenneth, welcome to the show. Happy Sunday.
Hey, guys. Happy Sunday.
I'm glad you're happy to. We won the Manchester derby, so
Yes,
we
yes,
just
yes.
wanted
Over the
to.
moon.
What was? You just tell me how you felt for that game.
Oh, the house was shaking, man. Voice notes, Kay and I were sending voice notes left, right, center.
It was a feel good, right? It had
Oh,
the feel good factor to
Oh,
it.
I loved it. It reminded me of the good old days, man. The days of Sir Alex. Yeah. Yeah.
So we also covered the mentality of the players now to
Mm,
then. What do
yes.
you think has changed that the heads didn't drop when they went 1-0 down? What
Yeah.
was your take on that?
It's a winning mentality. It's just that winning mentality. It's back. That never say die. That United way. When people are saying, like we play football the United way, we need to start playing football. This is the United way, what we're saying now. And it's just amazing. What to go 2-0, 1-0 down to City and still come. Normally that's like, okay, the floodgates are gonna open now. It's gonna be 2-3, yeah, yeah, not now, not now. This United team, and that's why I'm confident. I know we don't want to jump the gun, and we got Palace first, but Arsenal fans are doing my head in. They're absolutely
I
doing
think
my
it's
head in right
everybody,
now.
mate.
Ah, but yeah, to answer your question, yes, that with the winning Ten Hag is instilled that winning mentality, and you can see it's clearly there.
Are United in a title race or they're in a top three race?
If we can beat Palace and beat Arsenal, then we're very much in the title race. We have to win those two games. If we get 4 points out of those two games, we're still there about, but we're not really in the title. But if we can win those two games, we'll be what, 3 points behind Arsenal?
Because Vim just checked the table.
Yeah.
We're 9 points behind Arsenal. Yes, we'll be free. If we win those two
Yeah.
games, we'll be only 3 points behind Arsenal. I think then Arsenal will start to panic. But
Yeah,
I'm
but they've got to play
surprised.
City twice as well.
Oh,
Yeah, they've got to play
twice.
twice. Yeah, they haven't played City this season.
Oh, that's strange. Because of the
Yeah,
postponement or something. I'm surprised.
postponement. Yeah, the first game was supposed to be at the Emirates, but then the PSV game got postponed for some reason in the
Right.
Europa League.
When the Queen died, remember?
Yes, yes, correct. Yeah, so that was rescheduled to
That's why
then
our
the
Palace
Man
game
City
was
game.
rescheduled as well.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
So.
now that United are at this level, Arsenal are still on top of the table. But what we're seeing now is, if we beat Palace and beat Arsenal, United are in a title race. Do we have the
100%.
depth? We've only got one player in the transfer. Vim, is this squad deep enough to sustain that momentum?
Would this say that again? The last.
This squad, is it deep enough to sustain a challenge?
This squad, yes, yes, it is, and that's why we've got to rotate. So I remember one thing we debated last time is about playing a weaker team in the Carabao Cup, and those are the times when you've got to play your younger squad, you've got to play your B team to preserve the main guys for the Premier League and the big competitions. So, and that's exactly what happened, right? I think he made 8 changes, and yes, they did struggle a little bit, and you had to get the big guns on to win that game. But we've got to rotate this squad. We've got to bring in the youth. We've got to bring in the reserve team, and we've got to play them. Because if we're in 4 competitions, we can't rely on just 11 players to do all of the games. We've got to rotate, and that's where City have got their strength and depth. They've got 2 amazing teams that can handle 4 competitions, and that's why I think they were fighting on 3 fronts last year, if I remember correctly. So Ten Hag knows what he's got to do. He's got to bring that youth in. I mean, it's amazing we've got Garnacho now. That guy's a real impact player. We've got to bring more young people through, and we've got to bring them in and mix them with the senior players with experience to ensure they don't suffer and struggle. I think with the right rotation, with the right promotions in the squad, yes, we can go all the way.
Okay, I like the positivity there. I like that. Kay, same question. Do we have the depth and depth and strength to go all the way to fight on all four fronts. I know he's infiltrating a few youngsters in slowly, but there's injuries. Van der Beek's out for the season. Dalot picked up an injury. Martial in and out. We got Wout Workhurst. So where are you on all this now? Okay.
Yes. Sorry, say again.
I said, where are you on all of this? Do United have the depth and squad to go through this 4 trophies? And even though we have the youth coming through, it's infiltrated a few youth into the senior side. Do we have enough to get through? I mean, we're not even on the mid. We're not at 19 games. We're just going to the mid part of the season.
You know what? I think we have the well, it's not a problem, but because we're in 4 competitions, it's taking its toll. But obviously, I'd rather be in 4 than being 2 or 3. But signing Weghorst, that's going to take the pressure off some of the players. We won't have to keep playing Martial, even though he might not be fully fit, and having to try and patch up. We still got Sancho to come back. I think the big spark, who's been a threat for us, is Garnacho. We've got someone who's on the bench who can. Every time he's come off the pitch, every time he's played, he's affected the game. So
yeah,
that's taking pressure off other players. So
yeah.
I think you've still got Maguire, Lindelof on the bench. You've got what's his name, Dalot, injured. He's got to come back. We're not having to rely on like Brandon Williams and other players like that. Shaw, no one's really talking about him. He's playing centre back.
Yeah,
against the best team in the league. And yeah, he's been amazing. He's been amazing. So it's positive. It's good. Wan-Bissaka as well with his quick feet when he was doing the skills against City. I was thinking of all the teams to be doing those little turns and twists. So I think we're in a good place. We might not be where Ten Hag wants us to be in terms of controlling games against the top teams, but we're in a very good place and we've got options like second and third choice to come off the bench. We're not having to rely on people like Alanga just to run and not really have enough quality. So yeah, we're in a good place. I think we're in a better place than Arsenal in terms of our squad.
Oh wow!
Even City's squads, it looks quite tired, but they've got the numbers. But I think we've got one of the best squads in terms of when we bring players on, they're at it. Like Arsenal, I think their downfall is going to be that they're going to fatigue in the second half of the season. Like, I know people say young players have got energy, but he doesn't really rotate that squad often. And yeah, after the World Cup, we're not even halfway yet. Like injuries are going to start coming, and when Europa League comes, that's when you're going to see who's serious. So give it another month or 2, and then yeah, we'll see. But I think we're in the. I'd rather be chasing than being at the top. Like Arsenal have never. When was the last time they've been in that position where they've been at the top and the pressure's on when it's like the last 10 games and people are chasing you. And obviously when we're in the Europa League, we play on a Thursday, Sunday. So teams will be playing, and if they win, it's like, oh, we've got to win there. And that's the worst feeling to have to play catch up. So I think it'll be good and it's exciting. So yeah.
All right, Ken. Do we have enough in the team to do enough? Can we challenge enough with this? I know he can rotate, but with little injuries, niggling, Martial, Dalot, Sancho, all these little bits, do we have enough?
Yeah, I'll have to agree with the guys. I think we do have enough because if you look at Arsenal's squad, everyone's been saying, they're going to get injuries and, they're going to suffer. But they have had injuries, but they're still, I'm not saying that they're going to eventually win it, but they've sustained that challenge. So we're coming up, we're dark horses basically coming from behind. You know when Mourinho gave that analogy about the baby horse, there's a big horse and there's a baby horse just coming up, trying to catch up. That's what we're doing now. We're that baby horse. And yes, Donny van der Beek is injured, but we've got Pellistri that can play there. Don't forget, we got Sancho to come back.
Pellistri, I forgot him.
Pellistri played well when he came on in the Carabao Cup. He's a good asset to have. Sancho is still going to come back, no doubt, stronger. We got Weghorst, which I think he's going to be a good signing for us. So yeah, the only challenge I have is Casemiro. In any position in the team right now, I think we've got cover. You know, yes, Maguire is a sham. We know that, but he can come in and do a job. We still got Lindelof there. You know, compared to Arsenal, if Saliba gets injured or Gabriel gets injured, who knows? But we still got these players to come in. It's just Casemiro that I think that we can't replace, and we just have to wrap him up in cotton wool so that he's fresh and ready for the big games, such as your Arsenal's away, your Liverpool away, those sort of games. Just manager, yeah. But we've got some. We had a youngster come in the other day. Is it Manio, or I can't remember what his name's called.
Yeah. I can't remember his name.
Yeah. So that's match experience. Yes, we can't rely on him just yet, but yeah, we do have the squad, 100%. Yeah.
Okay. So now with Crystal Palace on Wednesday, Vim, it won't be an easy game because Palace they won yesterday. I know they won.
They lost today.
They lost today against
Won
Chelsea.
today.
Chelsea won.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Ooh. So
and they're not in good form.
They're not in good form.
Yeah.
Okay. So that means there is a chance. There is a chance for us to go there and rub it in, if we can. What's your predicted score there, Vim, against Palace?
Against Palace. It's a winnable game. But I remember in the past seasons, we would struggle against them. We would struggle against Brighton, struggle against Wolves. You'd go into those games and you wouldn't be confident about winning them. Now we win them. And I think Crystal Palace is a very winnable game. I watched that game today against Chelsea, and they weren't very good in the final third. They're quite strong in the middle. They're okay in defence. Chelsea playing pretty badly themselves. Their team doesn't seem to be firing on all cylinders. I think we could beat Chelsea as well, by the way, this season. The way they play, I think Crystal Palace is a 3-pointer for us, definitely. The tough one is Arsenal next week.
Sunday.
If Saka gets injured and Martinelli get injured, who are they going to replace them with?
No clue.
That's why they missed out on Mudryk. And Arsenal fans will go, yeah, we don't need him. It was too expensive. But that guy, if they got him, I would have been very, very concerned. I don't know if you guys have seen him play. He's a phenomenal talent.
But the transfer market is not closed yet, right? They still can go.
Yeah. But, I mean, them missing out on Mudryk is a big, big...
Has he gone somewhere else?
He's gone to Chelsea,
Oh, damn.
He's been unveiled today. Yeah.
They bought Felix and they bought Mudryk too?
Yep. The two players Arsenal wanted.
Are you talking about that Ukrainian striker?
Yep.
100 million.
Yeah. He's not a striker, he's a forward.
Not a striker.
100 million.
He's very good. He's very good.
I've never seen him play, but that's big money.
It's big money, but he's very good. Yeah. A really good player. Yeah.
So Ken, you think we could beat Palace and get 3 points?
Oh, we have to beat Palace because can you imagine not beating Palace and going into the Arsenal game? That would be really annoying, wouldn't it?
We have beaten big teams and lost to the small team. I remember beating Man City and we lost to West Brom the following week. This was the 3-2 at Etihad when we Pogba scored those 2 goals. We lost to West Brom.
Yeah.
The following week. So, but I mean, different mentality, but.
Yeah, if we want to win the league, right? I know we're not saying that, but if we want to win the league, if we want to be considered as Premier League contenders, we have to beat Palace. There's no two ways of we can't get one point isn't good enough. Pick up the 3 points and go to Arsenal. If we get a draw at Arsenal, fine, fair enough. Let's just, as long as we don't lose to Arsenal. Because if we draw, we're in a good position, kind of, because we've beaten them. We beat them at Old Trafford, so we could go. 4 points. So yeah, I think yes. To answer your question, the answer is yes. We can beat Palace. Did
you see the Chelsea game today? It was quite empty, actually.
I didn't.
You know how many empty seats there were?
Really?
There were whole sections of it completely empty. Side stands, there were so many empty seats. Talking of Etihad. Like Chelsea seems to be emptying out as well now. Did any of you see?
Yeah, it's the American effect.
Is it the American effect or is it the Potter effect?
American effect.
Is his magic working on the fans? Yeah, I've never seen Chelsea that empty before. Real shock.
Yeah,
and the fans are voting with their feet, aren't they?
Yeah, protesting.
So okay,
they protest.
Against Palace.
Sorry?
Kay, what's your take against Palace, Kay?
Like Ken said, it's always a tough. We're away, aren't we? We're at Sellers Park, so it's the IU's always the one that always tries to do some madness against us. Like Zaha rarely does anything, but they're physical, they're strong. I think we'll beat them. They're not in a good run of form like people were saying, but we need to win that game. The only bad thing is the turnaround after that game. Arsenal are gonna have a week of rest. We're gonna have like a few days recovery, but I'm confident we'll get a win. It's just how they manage the team, and obviously Martinez hasn't started the last 2 games. Shaw's been started, so maybe it's a chance to put
rotate. Yes.
in or rotate. Yeah. So
Hey lads.
I never thought I'd see Martinez be rotated. I thought it'd be Varane and Martinez, but it looks like now we can rely on Shaw to be there with Varane. As long as Lindelof and Maguire are not playing, I'm confident.
Yeah, but he may. I have a feeling he would rest Varane for that game. He will rest Arsenal he will rest Varane for Arsenal. Maybe play. I don't know.
You mean for Crystal Palace?
Mr. Maguire.
He might play Maguire. Actually, he won't.
Arsenal?
He won't because of the pace. No, he won't. He won't because if it was a team like Bournemouth, or a team that crosses the ball a lot, then Maguire would have played. But because Palace are very nippy,
because IU and that they'll twist up. Zaha, they'll twist
Zaha's
up.
a good player.
So maybe a game for Lindelof then.
I wouldn't even put.
He may play Lindelof.
If we were at
He
home,
might play Lindelof.
Yeah, because we're away, I don't think he'll risk it.
He could start.
I just can't
He
see
could
Varane
start.
playing that game. I can't see Varane playing because we need Varane for Sunday.
He could start with Lindelof, and if we're struggling, perhaps then get Varane on, or maybe do it the other way around.
You don't really want to
just secure
defenders, though, do you?
No, but the problem is with Varane. He's injury prone. He's old. We want him for Arsenal.
Yeah.
We need him for Arsenal.
We need him for Arsenal.
I'd like to see Martinez back actually for Crystal Palace. Get some minutes in.
In time for Arsenal, yes.
Yeah.
Do you guys think Weghorst will be making his debut against Crystal Palace? Or
I think he must. I think he must. Yeah.
I think he'll come on. He'll come on second half. Because our manager's not as stupid as Potter to just throw him into the starting lineup and get a red card.
There's pressure on him. You start him, there's pressure on him. If you bring him on, there's no pressure on him.
Yeah. I think. But you could see Potter was desperate. He's under so much pressure. So he's thinking, if we spend it this much, you might as well start. I mean, I doubt if Felix.
But the guy hasn't played in the league before. Like, he just turned up. It's like he just came from the airport straight to the changing room.
It just shows desperation and pressure. I don't blame him, but these are the ramifications. And Premier League players, they try and wind you up. You know how they are. They wind you up. Oh, you don't know this league. Wind you up, get your face, and try and get them to headbutt them or hit them so they'll do anything. They should. I don't think they had time to even figure it out yet. I think it was too early to throw him in, but that's Chelsea. But now that United are going to meet Palace on Wednesday, got big Arsenal on Sunday, so it gives us Thursday. It gives us 3 days of rest. I mean, practically before we play Arsenal. The Arsenal game is going to be massive, without a doubt. I mean, people are saying that's going to determine who's going to win the league. I said people need to be quiet. It's too early to say. We're not even on game 19 yet. I think that is game 19. That is literally midway of the Premier League. Yeah. So there's still 19 games to play to decide who's going to win the title. Titles are not won in January.
No.
You got to remember, all these Arsenal fans, last season, the last 9 games, they lost 7 of them. So they've got that in them to be Spursy. They've got that Spursiness in them. So,
I mean, the Arsenal game now, Vim, can United get a result there, or would you take 1 point, or you're going to United take 3 points?
No, I'd go for 3 points. What I'm hearing is ETH is obsessed with winning. So like, nothing else matters. That guy only wants to win, and he's going to demand that his players also become obsessed with winning. It's that infectious belief that you need from top down. Infectious belief to say, I won't accept anything less. I don't care. You go a goal down, you fight until that last minute, and you get a goal. You don't get 2, which is what we saw yesterday. So and I think Arsenal being a young team, I think we can outmaneuver them. We've got experience. We've got wily operators, and we've got a wily manager who's superbly. He puts his homework in. This guy, writes reports. He studies. He goes and watches all the teams. He looks for pinch points. He looks for weaknesses. He looks for places to expose. He looks for players to expose.
Do you think he would be watching the
watches.
game today and dissecting
He's watching all their games, I reckon. He's going to be doing his homework. He's going to get his number 2. He's going to get Steve McLaren to put in some homework. And he's going to come back and he's going to get around the table and says, look, how do we beat these guys? What suggestions do you have? Come to the round table. Let's discuss. They come up with a plan and then disseminate that to the group. I think, now we're starting to see what this club is all about. 10 years of wilderness and now Man United is on the rise again.
Right. Ken, can we get, is it 3 points or 1 point out there on Sunday?
You know what? Vim's just got me like spirit. Just like, get in there, Wow, yeah, that's the mentality, we're United. We should be going into these games. This is the mentality of Man United going into these big games, not accepting defeat, not even wanting a draw, just going for the 3 points. Can you imagine the huge momentum that would give us just winning that game?
Yeah.
And for one, just shutting up the Arsenal fans because it's just too much. Like, there's videos being posted here and there. Oh, we're going to win the league and all this nonsense in January. Forgetting that Man United were top of the league in January with Oli, ended up 14 points behind. Yeah. Yes, I know Arteta's better, but still, it's still, if it can happen, it's happened before and it will happen again. So we've got to go to that game and win, Yeah, but having said that, if we draw, that's not a bad result. We can't just lose that game. Can't lose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Arsenal, 3 points or 1 point?
It's going to be tough. Like Ken just said, I know we'll be a bit deflated if we draw. If we lose, we'll probably be gutted. But if we win, that'll be amazing. But I think they're going to have most of the possession. They're at home. We'll just do what we did against City, set traps, and we're good in our transition. Like when we get the ball, bang, we're quick to get forward, and that's what you want. Rashford isolated, Ben White, Gabriel or Saliba or what's his name, Zinchenko if he plays, or even what's his name. I think if Garnacho comes on, he's going to trouble any of those fullbacks. 100%. So I think we've got players that will take players on, and we've lacked that for a long time. And Casemiro in that midfield, I think everyone's saying Partey and Xhaka. Casemiro's going to show them how to play.
Of course, there's levels. 5 champions. What's Partey won?
Yeah, exactly. And all the guys, I think we'll play Fred again. I think he'll basically be the same team. All the guys not going to get to breathe like he does in other games. I think we're going to.
He won't get a chance today. Like he had the freedom of the country. So that second goal, first touch, second touch, bang. Everyone's just there. I'm like, you're not gonna get that against United. No way.
I think we'll beat them 2-1.
2-1. I think that would be.
It's just the fresh legs. That's the problem.
Right.
That's the only
and
thing
Tim, I want to see your moves. I want to see your new. I want to see your moves.
No, if we beat Arsenal, I'm going to be moonwalking on there, guys. But we beat Arsenal. No, don't. I got the moves ready for that one. I just posted the moves for yesterday in the chat.
Yeah.
Right, we have someone joining us. Danny, can you hear us?
Hey, Danny.
Danny, can you hear us?
Connecting to audio.
Who's it? Danny Welbeck doing us a favour yesterday.
Yes. You see Danny Welbeck celebration.
Liverpool get thrashed yesterday.
He did the Rashford celebration. Did you see that?
3-0.
Yeah.
Strokes like a cat.
What does that celebration mean? What do you think that means?
He did it, and then he acted what's his name, Rashford on Twitter. Yeah. Yeah.
What was he saying? Is it like positive mental attitude?
What's that about?
Is that mentality? I don't know.
It's about the mentality, positive mental attitude.
Yeah.
He's a different man this season.
Yeah.
Hi, can you hear us?
Hi.
Oh yeah, they're busy. It looks like you're
working. How are you?
Hi.
I'm good. Yourself?
How did you find the game yesterday?
Uh, I really enjoyed it. From the beginning, earlier on, I posted you be winning 2-0 or 2-1. And very fortunate for us, we were able to get it. But I was very happy looking at our gameplay, the contribution from each and every player. I was very happy. One, because Saka have been having a very difficult time. But looking at his game contribution yesterday, he was very good on the ball. His skills, I was very happy. I was very happy yesterday.
That's good.
I couldn't celebrate alone in the room. How to jump outside.
That's what Man United does for you. I mean, I started dancing everywhere, but it is what it is. Good. So we have Arsenal on Sunday. What's your prediction for that game?
It will be a slim margin, either a draw or a win for Man U because of the last time. Normally, we do have a couple of goals in between Man U and Arsenal, but this time the technical aspect of it will come much into play. Looking at the first game, how Man U were able to overturn the results to their favor. So I'm expecting a very tight game. So at least 1-0 in favor of Man U or a draw, maybe.
But you can't see us losing that game.
No. where we have built a team to right now, no. Man U is not losing.
Okay, thank you very much, Danny.
Sure.
Has anyone got questions? Anyone got questions? Question time.
I've got a question. Do you guys think Weghorst will be the difference? Will have an impact to United this season? And if so, how much impact would he have?
Who wants to go first?
I mean, I haven't seen much of him, but he's a tall, strong guy, right? Was he 6'4", 6'5"?
6'6".
6'6". That's big.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that the same height as Haaland?
I think he's even taller.
Yeah.
So Haaland's 6'5".
Haaland's not that tall.
Haaland's 6'4", isn't he?
Haaland's 6'4".
Well, 6'6", that's a giant. I mean, you can imagine that, he's going to scare defenses. If he sits off the shoulder of the centre backs all the time, he's going to occupy them, which basically means that you've got space on the pitch for Rashford or Anthony and Garnacho to get in behind. And you've got point man. So, all these wonderful passes that we've got in the game, Casemiro, Eriksen and Bruno, they can aim for Wout. In that box, and if he's good with his head and he gets a good goal return, which he apparently does, one in every 2 games, I think it's going to change our squad for the better. So yeah, positive things.
And apparently, from what I've heard, he doesn't like being associated with being just a head man, someone that heads the ball. He's very good on the floor as well, from what I've heard. So he doesn't want, and that's why he didn't kind of work with Burnley, because Burnley bought him for his height. And they wanted to whip crosses all the time, but not always accurate crosses. He has that capability, as we saw in the World Cup, to also play on the floor.
Right.
And he has the most, I think, the highest pressing stats in if not in Europe, in the Premier League or something like that. Yeah, his pressing stats are really good.
I think he'll make an impact in reference to the start. We could go long, we could go short. So he will bring an impact to United in reference to our play could change. We could switch play, but the quality of the ball. If we're gonna go with him as a front man, United quality balls have to be accurate, proper crosses. I mean, good balls in the air, good balls like Dalot cross, a Bruno cross, really good crosses for him to connect to. And I think Ten Hag will work on that on the training ground, how to whip the good balls in for him, because he can flick his goal. He's very good in the air. I've seen most of his goals are really good in the air.
Yeah.
The thing with
Right. Who else? Kate, do you want to follow up on Kenneth's
say,
question?
yeah. A lot of Dutch ex-players have written him off and said wherever he's gone, there's been a lot of negative press about him, and he's always proved people wrong. Obviously, the Burnley one was a left field move. He went there. They don't really play football. Not going to keep much of the ball. Like you were saying, he's not just a target, but he's got good feet. He's got good movement. He presses well. His mentality. I remember listening to something and they were saying like when he was at a club, I don't know if it was at Wolfsburg or where it was, that there'd be times where he texts his teammates during the night or during the day on ways to. He's basically he always analyzes his game. He texts them on ways they can improve their chemistry.
Wow.
So he's got a good mindset, and I can't remember another time we've had a decent number 2 to come on. I can't remember the last time we've had like a decent like second striker. Like, can anyone remember that? I can't. When was the last time we had a decent? Like,
not really.
For a long
No,
time.
I mean, when you say decent, you're not talking about the Van Persie kind of striker. You mean
No, I'm on
backup?
since Fergie.
Yeah.
Since Fergie.
Since Fergie? Let me.
No, I don't think we have.
No, we haven't. I mean,
No,
I don't want to think of Sanchez because that was a failure.
But he was meant to be a starter, wasn't he? He was meant to be a starter.
But yeah, Sanchez was supposed to be a starter, but he failed miserably. 5 goals in 47 games? No, no sir. On 400 a week.
I think Weghorst has cancelled his contract, so he's playing for his future as well. So that's a positive. Yeah, he's going to be like, I'm here to prove a point. You know, like a World Cup where they're playing for a deal. So I think it's a win-win for United. Because if he shams a bait, he's not going to get a deal. But if he proves himself.
Yeah, because he's only 30. You can sign a 1-year contract.
Yeah, extension, yeah.
And he's not the sort of player that'll be like, I should be starting. He won't be creating problems. He'll just be happy to, you know what, I've got a chance now. I'm at United. Take this opportunity. So I think it's a positive.
Probably his last chance as well in football.
Yeah, in the Premier League. I think he'll make. I think Crystal Palace is the right game to blend him in. The Crystal Palace match. I think that'd be a good game for him to get into the Premier League.
Yeah. And I think the good thing about that is, you know, when we play balls up top, we're normally looking for a flick on. He'll be able to pin players. We've not really had a player that can do that.
No.
It's Fellaini. I think Lukaku and Fellaini. And even then, like,
Lukaku didn't really do it properly. He wasn't.
Yeah, he used to just bounce off him, didn't
he? No.
Right. So do you guys?
With that is, as well, the flick-ons. So
yes,
they can make
especially for set pieces.
Exactly. So.
Another point is, if you guys realize, I think it was Bems in the United Road group was saying that, yes, Martial did have a great game, but did you guys notice as soon as he came off second half, we couldn't hold the ball. So all he was doing was holding up.
Kept coming back.
Yeah, as he was holding up the ball for us to then attack. But I was thinking he wasn't doing much. But second half, I was like, oh, Bems was right. You know, as soon as he came up. So that's what Weghorst would do. Hold up the ball and then let people come and, you know, Rashford's, your Anthony's and Bruno come running across and then.
Right.
Yeah.
And that, on that point, Ken, a lot of people don't realise Marshall's got to occupy 2 centre backs. So it's a long day for him to try and occupy 2 centre backs. It's a tough job. It's very tough. So
I was going to ask you guys a question. Do you guys think Liverpool are done for this season? Is it over, or do you still think they could come back?
They're done.
Vim,
where are they now in the table?
I think 13th.
13th. Yeah, they can probably get up to 10th.
No, they're 9th or something. I think they're 9th.
They are 9th. I reckon they might stay at the foot of the table and in the top half. So yeah, maybe stay 9th, 8th. I don't think they're challenging for top 4. I think it's going to be Arsenal, City, Newcastle United who are challenging for top 4.
Okay.
I'd like to agree with Vin, but Liverpool are a funny team. They still got Diaz to come back. You know, Ruben Diaz. And I don't. When's Jota back?
I don't know, man.
Plays for City.
Yeah, because those 2 players are huge. If Diaz or Jota comes back, I remember that. Yeah, remember that season when Liverpool were like 8th or 9th. Remember that, and Alisson scored that header.
Yes.
So upset. I can see that happening again. They can go on a run, and because they've got Klopp there, and they still have a good team. It's very hard. It'll be very, very hard. I mean, no Mane this season compared to that season. So yeah, I wouldn't write them off. Yeah, I wouldn't write them off, but I don't think they'll make it. But yeah, I wouldn't just write them off.
It
Danny,
also
what-
I think
depends.
their problem.
Let me ask Danny. Danny, what's your take? Do you think Liverpool are done for the season?
Yeah, maybe the seventh position, eighth position, maybe. Earlier on, I was having a discussion with a Liverpool fan, and I told them, you see, they need an upgrade in their midfield. You see, Alcantara is on and off midfielder for some time now. He has been injury prone. Looking at the other midfielders, their ages are above 30, and you see, they wouldn't give you what you would get from the Chilmenis, the Kavmingas,
True.
the young midfielders in the league. They wouldn't give you that. Yes, they are good, but they wouldn't push you that further. They've been doing that job for a long time now in their tired legs. You wouldn't get more from them this season. So you should have beefed up the midfield since Mane was even leaving. You should have beefed up the midfield to at least sustain him in that top flight level. I'm not seeing Liverpool making it up to the top four this season. Maybe, yeah, in the middle way somewhere, because they are
Alright.
really struggling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please, thank you. Kay, Liverpool, is it done?
For me, it's not about what's it called? I don't think it's the it's over because they're only 10 points off fourth place and they've got a game in hand over some of those teams. So I wouldn't write them off. It all depends on if this who they sign in the transfer window, because you got to remember they've just got to beat the teams that are down at the bottom, not the top teams. So I want to say it's over because you've got to look at Tottenham, Chelsea. The only bad thing for them is Newcastle United and City look like they're going to win more games than Liverpool will at the moment. So I think it might be a Europa League for Liverpool this year. But I just don't think they've bought well. They've not replaced Mane well. Buying Nunes. It's like what City done with Haaland. They bought a player who they've not really played with, like a typical number 9, tall, target. It's disrupted the way they play, and it's taken them a while to get used to it. So,
But
yeah,
he scored a lot of goals for City, though.
yeah, but it's like when we had Ronaldo. He scores all the goals. Like, whereas before they used to Gundogan would score,
Interchange,
Mahrez would
yeah.
score,
Yeah.
everyone was scoring with loads of goals. De Bruyne is not
And
even
it's
scoring many goals.
difficult to mark because you don't know who's coming from where. Whereas you know if you can keep Haaland quiet, the other two you could kind of manage. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think Liverpool and Chelsea are literally in the same boat. I don't even know if any of them. I think who's worse off, Kenneth? Who's worse off, Liverpool or Chelsea?
Chelsea, I'll say Chelsea. Chelsea are worse off because of Harry Potter. Yeah. When you've got Klopp, yeah, you know, Klopp's won the league. Klopp knows the league in and out. And he's still got players, he's got players injured, he's got players coming back. Harry Potter, I mean, all he could do is wave his wand. And you know,
Danny, what's your take? Chelsea are Chelsea worse off than Liverpool?
Yes, in a way, but I see Chelsea being able to get back. Look, he's a very good coach, but to me, I think he started on a very wrong foot. I think he should have been given the team earlier so that he could do his own recruitment. You don't allow another different coach to do the recruitment, then he will come and take over and expect him to be getting such results. So for me, I think they have to give him some time. At least after this season, maybe he'll get chance to know his team better during preseason. Then maybe from next season, if he's not able to perform, then. But I expect him to be. I think they are missing Kante too. He has been one of the people. In the team. Yeah. So maybe I learned he's coming back mid-February. So let's see. Maybe if he comes back, maybe he can help the team do better. If not, then I think Liverpool will be well placed than Chelsea because they are also not doing well at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Vim, Chelsea or Liverpool? Who's in a worse state?
Definitely Chelsea, because of too many changes at the club, change of ownership, change of structure, change of manager. There's just too much going on at Chelsea, and you can see the players are looking a bit lethargic. Ziyech doesn't look like himself anymore. He doesn't seem to be very dynamic. He seems to switch off a lot. Yeah, he had a good World Cup, but seeing him play today was not impressive. They've had a lot of personnel changes as well in the team. Thiago's still there, but there's another centre back, Charbella, and the midfield looks slightly different. I don't know. It feels like partially aging squad. A squad that is not really clicking.
What
I
the
think they're in-
Arsenal guy
I think
they
they're
saw, bought? Where is he? Is he not playing?
Who?
The Arsenal guy they bought, who used to play for Arsenal and Barcelona. What's his name? Damn. He used
Aubameyang.
to- Aubameyang.
Aubameyang,
Yeah, he's a shadow of himself as well.
There's a
You know,
story behind that. I don't know if you
Mm.
guys saw that interview that Rich posted it by from Kieran Dyer. So a couple of players, especially Aubameyang and Sterling, they were like the gulf between Tuchel and Potter is a million miles. It's like an ocean. It's just
what
huge.
golf?
In terms of tactical now,
Tactically and as a manager.
yeah,
Mm.
like Sterling, I think there's this rumor going on about Sterling was, he signed based on what Tuchel said to him.
Right.
The only reason he's signed for Chelsea is because of Tuchel's ideas and Tuchel's mentality and
Mhm.
philosophy. And then they brought in Potter, and he's like, "Who's this guy?" Like,
It makes
he
you
wouldn't
wonder.
have come to Chelsea
Mm.
if Potter was there. Neither would have Aubameyang. So-
Aubameyang going to come because of Tuchel. Like the week before, then they sacked Tuchel. It's like,
So a lot of their squad then must be reeling because they got rid of the manager that they came for.
Yeah.
So maybe
yeah.
they are downing tools and saying, well,
Yeah.
we didn't come here for this. We didn't come here for Potter. We came here for Tuchel, and you got rid of him. So now we're taking this club down the table
I think
until you give us what he
another
wants.
thing with Chelsea, they've signed a lot of players, so there's a lot of uncertainty who's going to be there next season. They've signed so many players that you're thinking, like Aspilicueta, his legs are gone. They need to let him go. I think there's a
Yeah.
3 or 4. Thiago's deal runs out this season. Aspilicueta, so I think they're getting ready to recycle some players and start again. But I think they're gonna get a new manager. I don't think Potter will be there next season. I think they're buying for a potential new manager. So it's just a lot of
You know what?
uncertainty.
Give him the season. See where
I
what
think
he can
they
do.
should sack him to the end of the season.
Yeah.
At least let him see the season out.
I don't think there's anyone that can bring in, to be honest, that will come and take him.
No. I don't know if you guys saw 16 goals of Wout Weghorst. Pretty impressive, actually. He scores with both feet, scores a
That's
lot
what
with
I'm
his
saying,
head,
he's a good player.
and he scores from the 12-yard box with his head,
Yeah.
which we don't have anyone that can do.
Well, so that's
So-
an impact for United.
Yeah.
Right. So that's good news for us. Right. Danny, where are you, Danny? What part of the world are you?
I'm in Ghana.
Okay, nice. Thank you for
Yeah.
joining us all the way. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. Because everyone here is from
Thank you
UK.
too.
I'm in US. You in Ghana.
Yeah.
So nice. We have 3 different continents here. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Thank
Where are
you
you,
too.
Kumasi or where are you, Kumasi?
Accra.
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 Okay.
Accra.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Capital.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for joining. So, I'll
Thank you,
what
sir.
WhatsApp group are you in? Because I'll be able to send you direct links. I think I posted some of the links.
Okay. I think I'm on the.
We're in the same group, Tim. The Red
Okay.
Army one.
Yeah, we are in the same group. Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's cool. So yeah, I really appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Right, guys,
appreciate
it's this is that situation now. We got Palace on Wednesday, Arsenal on Sunday. 6 points available. I'm greedy. I want all 6 points. Football can change. Football's
That's
a
not
funny.
being greedy.
You know what I mean? Well, all the games are in London, all away. It's like, whoa. Are they just gonna stay in
Mhm.
London on Wednesday and train in London? But they're gonna come back and go back. But it will be fantastic to win both games. It will be great. And I think
Yeah.
teams. I think after United beat City yesterday, I think teams have started to look at United a bit different. Like,
Of
okay,
course. Yes.
the
Yeah.
respect is coming
Very
back.
true.
Like, I think a lot of people expected us to lose yesterday. A lot of
Yeah.
fans wanted
Yeah.
and hoped we lost.
Yes.
Shut them up.
The opposition fans were like, yeah, this is gonna be a big test. They're gonna lose, and then they'll realize that they're not good enough. Everyone was waiting for us to lose.
Jermaine Pennant was saying on Talk Sport they're gonna get beaten before the game. I was like, relax, man. Everyone, I think it's good. United are back to where we used to be when we were good. People hating on us, but we're doing well when teams are hating on United.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
yeah. They hated Alex Ferguson back in the day because we won everything, won all the
And
trophies.
everyone's
So
going on about
I
that
want
goal.
all 6 points. 6 points would be great
Likewise.
to end the week. That would be great. And this time next
Good.
Sunday, we'll come
That
back
would be
on
awesome.
and celebrate with champagne and wine.
Yes.
That would be great. Danny, hope to see you next week after we've beaten Arsenal, hopefully. Fingers crossed. That'd be great.
Yeah. That would be great. That would be great too. That would be great.
So guys, any more questions? Anyone want to talk about anything this week? Anything so we can round up?
I'm just gonna say Barcelona beating Real Madrid 3-0. And
No
It's 3
way.
Yeah, it's
In the
3-1 now.
3-0.
It's
yeah.
3-1.
Damn.
3-1 now.
Is that the
And
new
Real
camp?
Oh
Madrid
yeah,
just
yeah,
scored.
3-1 now. They just scored, didn't they? Yeah,
Real Madrid just scored. Yeah,
How many minutes to
3-1.
go?
It's
It's
stoppage
finished,
time.
more or
Oh.
less.
Finished.
Who's leading the table currently in La Liga?
Barcelona, I think. Let me see.
Barca.
No
Did-
way.
Isn't this a copper game though? This is
Yeah,
not.
it's the cup. It's the cup.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
their
it's a
yeah.
cup
Carabao
game,
Cup
yeah.
final. It's their Carabao Cup final, basically.
Oh, so
It's-
they won a trophy. Damn.
Yeah, in Saudi Arabia.
Huh?
Yeah.
They're playing in
Come-
Saudi Arabia, yeah.
Funny how that ended up there. Eh?
How the hell is that
That's
end
why
up
they
there?
were wrong with
Money.
Ronaldo.
Oh god.
That's why
So,
Money.
so you could just say, you know what?
Ronaldo.
I need you to move your yearly tournament to our country. That's just ridiculous.
But you know
The
what it
Premier
is,
League was
Tim?
going to do it. Remember when they wanted to play some
Play the
games?
final games in
Something
America.
like that. Something like that, yes.
But you know what they were saying? They were saying all of this is to go and get, because Qatar got the World Cup.
Mm.
But they're saying Saudi are planning to try and do one of the World Cups in future years.
Mm.
So that's why they're even trying to get Messi to go and play in Qatar, Saudi Arabia. There's talk of it.
Don't be surprised if one of the next few Champions Leagues won't be moved
No, it
to
will be.
Saudi
It will be.
in the Middle East.
Because look at boxing. Boxing never used to be in Dubai and all those countries. Boxing's
Yeah.
gone to like Saudi Arabia, it's going to Dubai.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been going there for a while.
Anthony
Wow.
Joshua's been fighting in Dubai and
No
Saudi
way.
Arabia and yeah.
Wow. These
Look where
people
the
are
money is.
serious.
Yeah, that's why I want them to buy United. That's where the money is.
So
Yeah.
where do you we still look like we're going to be bought by a Middle Eastern team, Middle Eastern consortium. That looks like still going to be certain.
Yes.
Fingers crossed. Danny, how do you feel about the Middle East owning Manchester United?
It seems now they have the financial strength to be able to be pulling most of the teams there. But I'll be very happy if one of the teams companies have been able to buy my at least to invest a lot into the team and upgrade the team from where it used to be. I think we've been lacking a lot in terms of infrastructure, in terms of technology.
Yep.
I think that's what Ronaldo was bashing about for some time now, and I think we really need it. So if the current administration can't provide that, and we can get a new, and if they being Arabs can provide that for us, I think it's a good thing, and it's good to go with.
Okay. So you're in support of this a Middle Eastern ownership. You're in support of that. You don't have a problem.
Provided they can give us the means to get the result both on the pitch and off the pitch, I'll be very
100%.
happy with
I'm
that.
with that.
Yeah.
Anyone else got anything to talk about before we round up?
I've got a question.
Yeah.
So we know the Arabs are good at investing and not just taking money.
Mm-hmm.
One of our biggest projects would be, either building a new stadium or renovating the existing stadium and the training facilities. So the question is, would you rather Old Trafford, would you like Old Trafford to be, expanded and modernized, or would you like us to trash it and build a new stadium like Spurs did?
I would renovate. That is too historical. I want us to renovate. It's too historical. So much history of winning. I want us to keep it, but renovate it,
Okay,
expand
let me
and
add a
renovate.
twist then. Let me add it. If you knock it down and rebuild it, it'll be the best stadium in the world. If you renovate it, you can't really do much because of the train station and behind the stands
Yeah.
and the infrastructure is old. So based on that information, I know this is the hardest question. What would you
know
guys
what,
do?
Ken? I used to be like, nah, the history, the World War, there's only certain parts of the stadium that have been there since before it got bombed. But I think nowadays, the way the world's going and the economy, we've got to build a new one, sell the naming rights, build around the area that we've got around the stadium, because it's just dead space. We could put a training ground for the reserves or the ladies team. Because Man City are building a stadium next to Etihad for I think it's for the
women.
I think it's for the youth team or the women's team. Yeah.
Wow.
So I think we've got like Arsenal have done it, Tottenham have done it now. We've got to keep up with the Joneses. And you got to remember, if we get to 100,000 seater,
that's more money.
The money, it'll take how many years to make the money back? So I think we've got to try and, because renovating it, we still got to sort out the Wi-Fi.
The infrastructure is bad, isn't it? The foundation is old. The way it's designed is.
Okay, that makes sense. Vim, do you want us to rebuild or renovate?
So, I mean, I think of like a rusty corrugated shed that's leaky and stuff. I would just trash it and rebuild. And there are, yes, there's a lot of history, but if you look at Tottenham Stadium, it is a work of art. You can, if you rebuild the foundations and you, let's say, have structures underneath the stadium, you can add more space. You could perhaps build a tunnel over the existing rail line if they want to keep the same site. You can start expanding it. You can make it a modern work of art. If you've been to Wembley Stadium, you'll see what it's like. They trashed the old one, took it to Northolt, made 4 little hills out of it, and they built an amazing stadium. I think those 4 hills are basically all the rubble from Man United. Sorry. Slip up, Wembley Stadium.
Really?
I would take down the rubble of the existing stadium, maybe dump it on the blue half of Manchester.
Danny, what's your
rebuild, modern construction.
Danny, do you want a new stadium or you will renovate?
Renovate.
See, I'll renovate. Okay.
Yeah, renovate. Just renovate.
You can build a car park underneath. You could put modern heating systems. You have a rainwater system, drainage underneath the pitch. You've got to really just excavate the whole ground and use modern construction techniques.
Yeah, I'm up for rebuild as well, because if you look at the renovation, you can't do much, but like extend.
You extend a bit,
yeah. Install Wi-Fi, patch up the leaky roof, maybe change the roof here, and it's still gonna look the same.
You're looking for a new stadium.
Yes, look at Bayern Munich Stadium, for example. Look how nice it looks at night, and the infrastructure. Look at Real Madrid.
And we can just add light into it. It may look nice.
Yeah, Real Madrid's new stadium. All this the big stadium, the big clubs are renovated, and we have to move with the trend and do it. And
check this out as well, right? Because Wembley Stadium has got 90,000 capacity, right, of seats. Guess how many toilets it has?
How many?
500.
2,618 toilets. To have that many toilets that have that much running water, sewage, you've got to go underneath. Yeah. So you have to literally dig up the whole ground, lay new pipeworks, new sewage.
Wow.
Yeah, you can't do that if you renovate. Then you've got to have drainage for your pitch. Your pitch is going to be in tip-top condition. I think you would have to dig up the whole site to have a modern stadium.
Another thing with that, Vim, Tottenham do the NFL there.
Yeah.
and
Yes, to make
the
money.
pitch slides away.
Yes.
Imagine how much money that will bring to Man United to host them.
Millions, absolute millions. They do it at Wembley Stadium as well, and they've got
Exactly.
tons of escalators as well around Wembley Stadium.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
It's a
a lot of work to do.
There's money to be made.
Right. Any more questions? If not, we're gonna do
Why have we not talked about Rashford's goal? That's what I want to ask.
the controversial goal, the offside.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean,
It's
it's a good point, but I mean, the way I saw it, it's about time some decisions went our way. So I couldn't be bothered, even if I just wanted the decision to go our way. He didn't touch the ball. He was offside, but he wasn't involved in. I mean, it's a weird, it's a weird situation because they keep changing these offside rules. He wasn't involved in play. He was offside, but he wasn't involved. The ball did not touch him. So, you know what I mean?
But if that goes against us, we'll be fuming. We'll be livid.
Yeah, I watched it again and again and again, right? Slow motion as well. I strongly believe, and looking at the law, that it happened so quickly that he really did not interfere. He did run after the ball, but the nearest defender to him, Akanji, was too far away. He couldn't get there in time, and there was no other defender nearby that could interfere or get that ball. I was listening to another analysis, and that chap who used to play for us one season, Michael Owen, he's the only one who basically said that it should have been disallowed. Then how many times has he said something negative about Man United? Anyway, I think that goal stands. It happened too quick. Rashford did not touch the ball. He did not interfere with it. Bruno just came in and pinched it. The goal stands.
Yeah, and I'm so happy as well that it was VAR that gave it. Can you imagine if the linesman gave it? He would be everyone would go, oh yeah, we paid the ref and all that stuff. How can he not see it? But the linesman actually gave the offside. It was VAR that got involved, so they would have looked at the interpretation of the law, and the law is the law, and they gave the goal. So if they gave the goal, it's a goal. But like I said, if it's against us, I will be.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's about time decisions went our way.
Yeah, yeah.
The other thing as well,
people are talking, oh, you guys are cheats. Get the hell out of it, mate.
Oh,
the other thing as well is that they said they interviewed a referee about it, and they said that it was a subjective decision of the referee, the main referee. So he decided that the goal stands, and doesn't really what VAR or anyone else said, that his decision stands final.
Wow.
And then he chose. He was right there as well in passage. He saw the passage play. He saw that the Kanji wasn't close enough to the ball, and Rashford wasn't blocking his way. Akanji could not get there in time, so he said, "I think it's a goals that stand because the defender couldn't get there." But yeah, I'm so glad we've got that because that gave us that momentum.
Mate. I'm not complaining.
We needed it.
We needed it. We needed that breakthrough.
The work, the second goal as well, brilliant. You know,
Garnacho
but Bruno's pass, he picked up the ball, and I thought it was going to go to the right of the pitch because that's where he was facing. But he hooked it and did a reverse pass to Garnacho, which was the best pass to do. And Garnacho's work on the left-hand side was excellent.
That turn and cross.
That turn and cross,
absolutely.
Because he backed and then turned the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah. He deserves a lot of praise.
They were not even, I think they were still in discombobulation from the first goal. They were all over the place. There's no one there with Rashford. It was like, I'll take it.
He deserves a lot of praise, that kid.
We don't care. We don't care.
The thing is, you compare these two wingers, right? Because compare Garnacho to our 90 million pound man, Anthony.
Yeah.
Money we paid for Garnacho compared to Anthony. Anthony's not producing at the moment. Garnacho is on fire.
Anthony's left-footed. So we needed a left-footed, technical player, and there's no one out there. There's no one better than Anthony right now. He just needs to do it. He just needs to produce more.
He needs to. But then look, Sancho. How much did we pay for him?
Don't get me started.
Yeah, and Garnacho's taking his spot.
I would like us to discuss Sancho on our next show because we need to know what's going on with this guy.
He's a kid, so second season, that's when there's pressure. Because remember when Elanga first came on the scene, no one knew about him. He was young, he looks good. Like next season will be the making or breaking of Garnacho. Even though I think he'll do well, there's got more to his game.
The kid is fearless.
that's
He's
what I mean.
different to Langer. Langer doesn't have that final
Ah,
He's not got enough
pass,
of
that
his game.
final that that he doesn't have that finishing product that Garnacho has.
Right.
Garnacho is all about just attacking those players and going to
Right.
that goal.
mm,
That guy is fearless. And I think if he's managed the right way, he's a key first player for us for the next
Yep.
good number of
100%.
years. And we
If
paid how much for him?
Nothing.
I don't know.
Do we
If
pay
Mudryk is going for 100 million, then Garnacho, I don't know. Yeah.
Any
So, yeah,
other things, people? Any
Oh,
other
okay.
things?
We paid £420,000 for Garnacho.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
Bargain.
I'll take that anytime, mate.
Yeah.
Anytime.
So, you can see why now Ten Hag wants to take control of this reserve team, because we buy these amazing players at such an amazing price. You have got to nurture them into the first team.
Mm.
So, good things, guys. Good things for this
Okay.
team.
Right. That brings us to the end of the show today, gentlemen. It's been an absolute pleasure from the UK crew and the Ghanaian crew. I know Danny had to go. I think he was actually working because he had his uniform on.
Yeah.
I really appreciate him. So I'll send him a message to say thank you very much. I can't remember what group. Vimo, you said he's in our group. What group is that?
Yeah.
The MUFC one, right?
Yeah, he's there. Yeah.
All right, I'll reach out to him because that was really appreciative of him. Because I posted in three WhatsApp groups, Houston one, the UK one, and that mixed one. So yeah, well, I appreciate him. Well, thank you very much, guys, gentlemen. Kenneth, thank you very much. Vim and Kay, thank you very much. We'll be texting each other during the week. Help after the victory. I'll do another dance. Then the big dance will be on Saturday.
Sunday.
Can you do the moonwalk for us, please?
I'll do the moonwalk for you on Sunday.
Yeah,
Don't
do the
worry. As
moonwalk.
far as we get the 3 points. If not 3 points, 1 point. No, it has to be 3 points.
Yeah, Tim Lingard.
All right, guys. Have a nice week.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Take care.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, right.